right. Here's the thing. I got all the slides I'm going to go through listed on the board. You have the list of things. And pretty much when I give a quiz, I just take from that list, and I'll have you identify from the slides I'm about to take. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get rid of this. I'll show you my microscope app here. Open her up. So what I see, you'll see there. Okay. And it helps if I turn this off. I might turn the lights on or off a couple of times. But to explain something, I'm going to present the slides today. And when we have our endocrine lab on Friday, I'm going to have you identify some things. And I'm going to check you off. I'm going to make sure you can use the scope and get these things in focus. But today you'll get a chance to see me do it. You'll be like, oh yeah, that's easy, no problem. I think you'll find out it's a little more frustrating if you're not used to working with scopes. Here are the locations. The A is the box. A, B, or C is the box. You got 3 boxes over there. Now inside each box are all these trays. They're numbered. So the number is like the row of the tray, right? The tray number basically. And if you pull a tray out, there's like a right and a left side of all these slides on it. So R or L indicates it's left or right, and these slides are misplaced. So when you go to the correct location, be sure it's like the one you're looking for. Okay. So I'll do hypothesis. No, I'll do this one first. Well, I didn't do this one for this. Sorry. I think I missed that. Pardon me. Yeah, I kind of messed that up. A3L is for the top one. I'm sorry. Glad I caught that. And the hypothesis is different. That's A1R. Okay, got that straight. Okay, so let's do thyroid, parathyroid first. I know they're listed separately on your list, but they're all on the same slide. So you just got to grab one slide and study them both. I'm going to turn the lights off. It's a little better. Okay, we'll go with that. So this is what you see, nothing, and pretend it's like you doing it. You've got to get the slide on the stage. Thyroid, parathyroid. Here we go. I want to get a chair so I can sit. Let's see here. Is there a chair available? I'll just use my black one. It's okay. So this is a low magnification. Let's go low, medium, high. Okay, let's go with that. Low is actually 40x magnification. This is what you see. Allow me to make one logistical move. I got to get my mouse by the scope so I can take pictures. Now, students always ask me, can you label the slides for us? Well, no, but I will teach the slides. And I am recording this, and I will upload to YouTube. And if you want to look at other resources or you don't know where to go, you can come to me, and I'll tell you what to study. But you're going to be given any picture I take. I'll take this picture. Boom. I'll post them later this afternoon when I'm in my office. Let me show you what you're supposed to be seeing. This is thyroid, parathyroid. I haven't presented it yet. Yeah, I have a new subscriber. I'm up to 1. I can't remember how many I have. It's not very many. But anyways, whenever you see like cells that surround something, this is a follicle structure in the thyroid. Okay? Whenever you see densely packed cells, like this dark purple splotch here, or there, that's the parathyroid, okay? Now, if we go to a higher mag, we can see some detail here. Let's go 100x. That's what we see. But you know what? Let's go higher. You got to go to 400x to see cell detail. So we'll go to here. Pretty cool. Take that. If you allow me to turn the lights on, I didn't teach this yet, so I want you to know what you're looking at. Well, I think I can just point to it. It's good enough. Do you see how there's like material in the middle here? This is called colloid. Okay? Colloid is inactive thyroid hormone. All of these follicle cells that surround the colloid, they're secreting the colloid into it. It's basically inactive thyroid hormone. Okay? And they just kind of keep it there for storage. The reason is they can't make active thyroid hormone. They have to first extract iodide from the blood, okay, to do that from your diet, like table salt, sodium iodide. And so because cells can't make the iodide, they have to extract it, and there's physiology there. I can teach that on Friday. They kind of have to store the inactive form here. Okay, so that's why there's this follicle structure. To be able to identify this whole thing as a follicle, the cells that surround it are follicle cells of the thyroid. The stuff in the middle, just call it colloid. If you see lighter cells outside the follicle, those are C cells, also called parafollicular cells. They secrete something else altogether. Okay, it's calcitonin. I'll teach that later. For now, just be able to identify these cells, parafollicular cells, follicle cells, colloid. This whole thing is a follicle. Okay? Any questions on this slide before I proceed? I'm going to move on to pituitary or hypophysis.
So I'm sorry, just the cuboidal cells around the colloid is the whole follicle, and then everything out of that is the C cells?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So pituitary, we did that this morning. It was the first thing you did on your half sheet. Just kind of look at this picture here. Let's go to 20x. Okay, let's scan around here. Do you see that little light stained nub at the top? That's pituitary stalk or infundibulum. Let me point to it. Infundibulum. This comes from the brain. It's supposed to go all the way to the posterior pituitary, but it gets cut off because it's not cut right down the middle. Okay, so this is infundibulum. Let me get everything in one shot there. I'm going to take a picture of this. So what I see is infundibulum, darkest staining, anterior pituitary, pars intermedia, posterior pituitary, lightest staining. Okay, that's it. Let's move on to pancreas. Okay, a lot of things here. The pancreas is for digestion and for endocrine function. We're interested in how the hormones that regulate blood sugar, where there are. There are these little clumps of cells hidden. They're little islands of cells. It's called the pancreatic islets. And then so you have other things like this, a big old pancreatic duct that's going to go to the intestines. Blood vessel, I think. This is what we're looking for. Or maybe that. Let's get, this is pretty cool. Let's kind of get that into a higher mag. This is 100, we'll go to 400. That's good enough. All right, so what are you looking at here? The lighter staining cells that are all clumped. I can tell they're cells because I see a nucleus in each of these cells. I even see blood. That's a blood vessel right there, and this is like blood in the islet. So that's how the insulin and the glucagon can get into the bloodstream. But anyways, identify this as pancreatic islet. That's all you got to know. Okay?
Pancreatic
Islet.
islet.
Yeah. I-S-L-E-T. So commonly mispronounced islet, right? How do you say island? Do you say island? Do you say island? It's island, islet, kind of the derivation of that word. But you'll still say islet. That's okay. At least you'll spell it right. Moving on, adrenal gland. A lot of dust on there. Let me clean this up. Got most of it off. Okay. And snap. Okay, so what are we looking at here? Okay, take a gander at that. Tell me if you think you see the border between cortex and medulla. And let me point to it. Right here. Above my pointer is cortex. Below is medulla. So let's identify the zones. Capsule, but that's not a zone. Zona glomerulosa. Zona fasciculata. Zona reticularis. That's the salt, sugar, sex thing. You can even see reddish in between cells. That's blood. Okay, so the corticosteroids can get into the bloodstream. All right, moving on. Ovary from cat. Let me get the cat slide. Now, for our lab on Friday, we are going to have a quiz on this, as you well know. And I will group you, Group A, Group B, and we do expect that. And we take the quiz at the start of the lab after lecture. And then for lab, I'll give you a choice. You could do lab in this classroom, or you can attend the open lab, which is like right after this. Because I want to encourage you to go to open lab. Now, I'll explain more on that on Friday. So if you do it at open lab, I guess you can't turn it in until next week, Wednesday. That's okay. I'll explain that on Friday. Okay, I'm going to go to medium magnification here, 100x. We'll look at the edge. That's cool, I'll take a picture of that. Okay, let's see the different follicle types that we just learned about. The question will be, identify a stage of follicular development. What if I point to anything out here? Primordial, right? I would say this one or that one are primary. This is a good one right here. Primary. Let's go somewhere else. That's probably a Graphian. That's good Graphian. Okay, this is somewhere in between Graphian and secondary. All right, it's pretty good. Take a picture of this. Okay, that's a nice Graphian. Right there. Okay, there's the moon-shaped antrum. Okay, so if that's Graphian, what is this one and this one? Secondary. Second, I see the oocyte. I see little pockets of fluid. Okay, yeah, that's what I see. Again, all of these primordials. Okay, so yeah, that's good enough. Let's do a closer up view so we can see granulosa cells and theca. So which one is this? Granulosa cells or theca? Granulosa. On the inner, the outer, looks more fibrous. Theca. Okay. They secrete the androstenedione, transferred here, converted to estrone. You don't need to know that for the histology quiz, just the identification of theca or granulosa cells. Okay, I'm moving on. Let's see what's next.
One more time.
Sure. Theca, granulosa cells. Yeah. Testes. So we're looking at here a bunch of cut tubes, and you can kind of see some things in the middle. Let me go closer up. That was low, this is medium. The way they stain these slides, the red blood cells in blood vessels stain black. Do you see one? Okay, let me go high mag on that. So what we see here, the cells that secrete the testosterone, interstitial cells, right here. Okay, that's just a blood vessel. I always like to remind students, don't misidentify blood vessels. I mean, they're there because hormones need to get into the bloodstream. Okay, here, that's what you need to know, interstitial cells. And what is this? Seminiferous tubule. Okay, I think that's on the list as well. That's it. Let me hit the stop button on this.